HBAR will directly benefit from exponential AI adoption in 2025. We're going to share with you why that's a big deal and a little hint. Nvidia. Who doesn't know about Nvidia at this particular day and age? Consider smashing a like if you haven't done so already. Let's get into the material and why it matters to you. First thing I'm going to pull up on your screen is, again, from my brother Smoke. And what does he have? It's this. He states, yes, HBAR, hedera HBAR will directly benefit from it all. For one, is documented. Well, what is he referring to here? Well, I cited these guys before. It's Hive Mind Capital. 9 themes we are excited about, in 2025. I'm not citing something from a long time ago, 2025. So it states here that, this dates back to January earlier. Again, new year, new opportunities. 9 themes of their investment team launching in 2025. Unsurprisingly, AI plays a role in many. Well, no kidding, right? Take it to this next part. What we have for you is the identities. How many times we talk about identities? Well, for one, back to hivemind.capital. And like you see here, the AI revolution demands trust. How many times have you heard Jesse lately talk about the internet of trust? Even myself and Channing have mentioned this too. So for one, does hedera in fact redefine it? Enterprise blockchain has been a long time coming, but the pieces are finally falling into place. That's big moving forward. Developed through collaboration with EQTY Lab, Intel, and Nvidia, verifiable compute redefines AI security by rooting trust directly in advanced hardware. Again, some of that leveraging. Look what it also says here.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. So just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.
Workflows. This is not quant video, but it mentions specifically workflows, all underpinned by the transparency and immutability of hedera's network. This innovation reflects years of research and highlights the transformative potential of partnerships between leading enterprises in the hedera ecosystem. This makes enterprise-grade AI not only secure, but also verifiable. As the AI reshapes global industries, hedera is emerging as the backbone for enterprise-grade blockchain solutions. People point this out. They're not even a blockchain, right? They're a distributed ledger technology. But whatever the case be, it's that integration. And when we talk about integration, do we not talk about, obviously, HBAR? Yeah. The handshake with hedera and Nvidia, obviously documented, and that's, of course, why we share some of these key findings with you, because even dating back to April 14th, Washer Guru pointed out that at that time, Nvidia announced a $500 billion investment plan to build and expand AI infrastructure in the U.S. So when things finally blast off, and you wonder why your hedera HBAR moves, and you're just like, I don't understand why it's moving. It's because we've taken the time to get into the nitty gritty of why it all matters, of course, for you. So for me, the proof is in the pudding when you get more further into it. The hedera handshake, of course, with Nvidia. That's a big deal, always has been. And again, kind of like what you see in the visual here. It's a must watch. Take a look into it. If anything, we'll chop out some of the music so we don't get hit with the copyright. Let's go ahead and play this. Here we go.
As artificial intelligence continues to cement itself as a core part of the emerging digital economy, the lack of transparency in how AI models are trained, developed, and deployed presents significant risks, not only to enterprises, but to society as a whole. In order to address this critical challenge, Equity Lab, in collaboration with industry titans Nvidia and Intel, has developed verifiable compute, the first hardware-based solution to govern and audit AI workflows using the blockchain. Verifiable compute introduces a cryptographic AI notary system that creates tamper-proof records of every data object and code computed during AI processes. This hardware-based approach ensures explainability, accountability, and security at runtime. The foundational trust layer of this solution is hedera, creating a trusted, immutable ledger of AI computations. Every operation performed on compatible Intel CPUs and Nvidia GPUs is recorded with precise timestamping, enabling auditable trails and smart contract orchestration across AI protocols. As AI integration deepens across finance, healthcare, media, and public sectors, this solution will establish new standards for transparent, verifiable AI systems, bringing unprecedented trust to our increasingly AI-driven world.
So a lot of talk about flow, to say the least, where there's quant flow, or in this case, hedera with Nvidia and their particular AI flow. But just know this, it's not a quant video. Palo Tasca was the co-founder, of course, with the Quant Network. He definitely has a plug to both hedera and, of course, the Quant Network. Say what you want. That has always been a big deal moving forward. Let's kick it over to our panel, which is Jesse of Apex Crypto Consulting and also Channing over at King Channing. Go ahead and take it away, gentlemen.
That's crazy. Like Nvidia, like one investment in like one country, $500 billion, like $500 billion, one investment. And then you see like how hedera is going to be crucial for the data and all that stuff for the actual SIM cards, stuff like that. Whew.
Yeah.
So I have a bit of a dilemma, my friend. I was debating if I was going to have to sell an arm to buy more quant, but now I gotta maybe sell an arm to buy HBAR.
Brother,
No,
I've said very, very, very adamantly, hedera is my number 2 for a reason.
Wow.
Hedera is people are not focusing in on. They are tackling the brand names. As a matter of fact, they just had a brand new governing council member, and they're a major $28 billion corporation. And I got a video coming out about that later on this week. What hedera is doing, they're tackling the names that we already know, that we already trust, that we already are consumers of. Things like Nvidia and Intel. Think about it. With Nvidia, they have their GPUs. With Intel, they have their CPUs, and they're doing all of their verifiable compute that all of their AI and AI agents are going to be doing. Think about things when we get into things like autonomous vehicles. Every time that car turns, every time that car parks, every time that car does any type of transaction, it is sending a transactional through the network, whatever network it's sitting on top of. And to know that something like a hedera will be capturing this AI compute the entire time. Now think about the systems that do things like tax and auditing. Think about the systems that do things like governmental things like IDs. All these different players that are now operating and getting ready to operate in the realm of AI. Think about how many jobs right now have some type of AI component to the actual work process. And they're actually telling you, no, go ahead, ask AI, see this, how this process works, see how it can be more smoother with this. AI is going to be incredibly big. And for the players that are capturing, just like when we were talking about Dr. Luke Riley, the Quant Network, and their whole AI thing they have going on, fusing together. And now we have hedera with their AI studio that they just released last month that are now, we see the biggest AI company in the world. Nvidia, however you want to say it. When I just said this in a video, when the institutional investment came into them, they came in $277 billion in one night. Think about what that means for when institutional capital flows into a process or a technology. What is that going to mean for the people that are actually capturing all of the compute that is going through it? Like, people better wake up. Hedera, that's why they're my number 2. They are nothing to be not tapped into. You have players like Mondelez International. They have something like 20 or 30 different brand names like Oreo and Ritz. I'm talking huge conglomerates that are working with hedera, building out their entire digital processes. They started with digital coupons. The next is going to be the supply chain. It's going to be ordering. It's going to be payroll. It's going to be everything, because the man said it from Mondelez. He said we are digitizing our company. the entire thing. And they are a Hedera governing council member, and they are tapping into Hedera's technology powered by HBAR. Just like QNT is powering Overledger, HBAR is powering the public-facing blockchain of Hedera. And Lord have mercy. That's all I can say is the future is looking extremely bright.
That's insane, because I mean, those two companies alone are like pretty much, I think it
Exactly.
covers like all the computer chips pretty much
Exactly.
in the world, right? So that's all the compute there. So I see, like, obviously, because you know how I feel about Quant. I said Quant is an overlay, sits over all the blockchains, right? So let's say instead of Quant being on top, let's almost put it as an infrastructure. So let's say Quant at the bottom. It's almost like I see Quant as the internet of trust, and then I see like the Hedera is here. It's another infrastructure, right? That's able to do everything you talked about. And then Quant, so sorry, we'll do it like this. Quant's here, Hedera's here. Hedera's an infrastructure here, handling a bunch of stuff. But Quant is allowing the world to connect to Hedera for everything you described. But then Quant's also allowing to connect to the other blockchain at the same time. So you're building a multi-chain application with Quant that's going to tap into Hedera, do what it needs to use what it needs to use out of Hedera, the whole ecosystem of solutions or whatever you mentioned there, and then Quant taps into the other blockchain at the same time, building a multi-chain application, an application that uses the best of Hedera or whatever it needs to do for Hedera, and then continuing with the supply. So maybe you do something on Hedera, but then you got to settle the transaction. So with the MDAP, you'll use XRP to settle the transaction. Maybe use something else to monitor the product, where at what destination the product reached, and you're using a bunch of multi-chain. So it's like Quant being the main infrastructure, and then because the internet of trust being that operating system, interconnecting everything, then Hedera being one of those maybe like key infrastructure or major platform blockchain handling this. And then you've got the shared ledger, which is XRP, and all these other blockchains, and you've got Energy Web Token, you've got it's mind-boggling. Like
it's like I was telling to someone, it's not going to be one player take all.
Mm-hmm.
It is a coalition of them. No one player, even in today's time,
Mm-hmm.
no one player has the 100% of any market. Even think of cars just here in America. You have Ford, you have Dodge, you have all of these other car, you have Tesla, you have all of these different car players that makes the car market. This is going to be the same thing when it comes to these blockchains. You're going to have Hedera, you're going to have XRP, XLM, XDC, IOTA, Jasmine, VChain, ADA, and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
And you have Quant right there facilitating. I call it like an octopus with infinity arms. It just keeps on reaching and attaching, reaching and attaching, reaching and attaching.
Nice.
And it's incredible what these companies are pulling off. And it would be different if they were just trying to do it, but they are actually doing it and then making announcements about doing it. Where most players in Web3 have roadmaps that are not actually being deployed. They're working on them.
A white paper. They have a white paper.
Exactly. Not a whitelisted product, but a white paper.
A white paper, yeah.
You know, Quant actually has, how about this? You just go ahead and tap into our services, and you can just say it's you and just pay us our fee. There you go. There's your whitelisted product. Everyone else talking about their roadmap. We're going to do this in 2026. We'll do this in 2027, 2028. Well, it's just like I said in another video. Somebody was talking about patents, and they was like, well, such and such had a patent, and such and such had a patent. And I'm like, well, do you know how long it takes for a patent to actually get approved? It's years. It takes 4 to 6 years for a patent to get approved. So for these people that are just submitting patents in 2024, we're now still talking about another 3 to 6 year process before it's actually granted. Quant Network have patents that are already granted. Why? Because they've already had the 4 to 6 year window of the processing and the approval process, and it is now complete. Understand, people don't truly see the vision of Web3 like a player, like a Quant, because most people, like I said before, think of individual blockchains, and Quant thinks of every blockchain, every layer 2, every corporation, every central bank, every commercial bank, every multinational corporation, every mom and pop store in the world. Let's connect them all together seamlessly.
It's everything. It's everything.
It's
Yeah.
everything.
What's
The
very
healthcare
interesting.
system is everything.
And what's
The
interesting
stocks,
too.
bonds. Go
Yeah,
ahead, brother.
everything, all the money. No, what I was just gonna say is like there's not gonna be one to rule them all, but it's gonna be very interesting in 10 years, like 10, 15 years from now, which ones became
We'll
like
be
the
winners.
bigger dominant ones, right? Like those top 10, right? Like right now in the internet world, you have the IBM, the Microsoft. When we look at websites, like you have you have YouTube, Facebook, Google, you have these major companies, right? It's gonna be interesting, like the potential, like the ones that end up being the bigger ones, the dominant ones in 10 to 15 years from now. It's probably going to be like we know XRP. There's going to be that HBAR, probably QNT, like we talked about, right? And it's going to be crazy to see the size and the potential market cap of those in 10,
Trillions,
15,
brother.
20 years from now.
Trillions.
Once the dust clears, right? There's so much
Absolutely.
innovation going on right now, but we see who has the most potential, and that'll probably change. There'll be some sums that'll come up, and they'll just, you could have like that Avalanche. Maybe Avalanche just passes, like, or Sui or Avalanche. Maybe they pass Ethereum, and next
Because they're
thing you
all
know,
solid projects. What
yeah,
you're saying?
yeah. So we'll see. There might be some that are not shining right now, and after 6, 7, 10 years, it's like came out of nowhere. But it's very interesting. Anyways, all that to say, very interesting to see what are going to be the size of these blockchain networks, the value of the value of these networks in 10, 15 years from now, the ones that end up being the bigger ones, the
You
dominant
have to
ones.
think about it like this. Hedera has a company called WiseKey, Seals WiseKey building on top of it. They already have launched space satellites that went up this past January inside Elon Musk SpaceX rockets. So they already have space satellites in space that is utilizing Hedera's HBAR technology. Like truly see they're piecing, and that same company, I want to say, either opened the stock market or they closed the stock market maybe about a month or so ago. They were at NASDAQ. People need to really wake up and see that even things like Neuron with their drones and their flight tracking capabilities that they're doing for the UK government right now.
Well, I want to ask you, doesn't Hedera have like major contracts with military as well? Like
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Both here and the UK, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's these government So when you see Quant work, like tapping into government major, like working with government, like again, like Quant's that overlay, right? So these solutions that are being built with Quant for government likely uses, for example, Hedera, depending on the contract, right? But Hedera, like Quant is bringing that next level for Hedera to be able to go further with those government projects and whatever,
It's
right?
almost like, think of the government department, and then that department, whoever is working inside their IT space, is tapping into Overledger via one of those integrations to bring them into the realm of Web3 so that they can use a Hedera or a Ripple or XLM or XDC for trade finance or whatever the case may be. So you're absolutely correct that they are that layer, that connection that brings the two, so that, okay, yes, we operate right now in Web 2 and we're doing great, but we want to go inside that space because that space is faster, cheaper, and it's more secure. How can we do that the most regulatory compliant way? Oh, let's tap into the standard. What is the standard? ISO TC 307, Overledger. Oh, perfect. And then it's plug and play.
Plug and play, yeah.
And they have these toolkits where you don't have to even think about it. You literally just deploy.
0 lines of code.
It's insane.
0 lines of code.
It's insane. And I know this is not a quant video, but I can never not just talk about quant.
Well, I'm just saying, like Quant is complementing HBAR, right?
Absolutely.
Quant is complementing everything. So
it's like they are not just the table, but they're also the sauce that goes on top of the dish. It's insane.
It's all the sauce. All the sauce. It's
sauce.
so crazy. It's so insane.
All right. So
No, I was gonna say, what do you think, Max?
Well, I don't really have much to add to that, because the way I look at it, I just share what I have with the research. I present it, let you guys two jab it out, have a good conversation, and we just leave people to draw their own conclusion. There was one guy a while back that said that we say insane too much. So with that said,
Oh, it's
the
it's
key word
insane.
of the day is insane. And we'll know
I,
that you listen to the entire outline on behalf of myself and these insane gentlemen who
I,
join up with an insane person like myself. Know what you
I
have, know why you hold it. The research trumps the insanity 110%. We'll see you guys on the next one.
see you guys.